Connected Consumer.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Parks, the president and CMO of Parks Associates, and your guest host today for the Connected Consumer podcast. Today, I'm very excited to give voice to the preteen and teenager segments. We're going to talk about what they think about technology and how they use it. Dylan, if you would, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure, I'm Dylan. I'm 15, going into 10th grade, and I'm in Plano, Texas.
I'm Nick. I'm 13. I'm going into 8th grade, and I live in Plano, Texas.
Hi, my name is Logan. I'm 12, and I go to school in Plano, and I live in Plano, and I'm going into 7th grade. My name is James. I'm also 12. I go to school and live in Plano, and I'm also going to 7th grade.
Hi, I am Sophia Thresh. I am 9 years old. I am going into 5th grade, and I live in Plano, Texas.
Hi, my name is Lily Page. I am 9 years old. I'm going into 4th grade, and I live in Allen, Texas.
Hi, I'm Mallory Joy. I'm 12 years old. I'm going into 7th grade in Allen, Texas.
Okay, great. So our topics for our guests today are going to include everything from gaming to mobile devices, online privacy, advertising and branding, artificial intelligence, and even what the kids think about the impact of technology on their lives. So guys, let's start off and see if you can tell me a little bit about what kinds of technology you're using on a daily basis. James, let's start with you. What kind of devices do you have and use regularly?
I regularly use the TV, my phone, the Alexa, and PS4, PS5.
I have an iPhone and a PlayStation 4.
I use my phone, the TV, my PS4, and that's pretty much it.
I have a computer and an iPad.
I have a computer, a phone, and a PlayStation.
Technically, I kind of have a computer, but I prefer my phone because, I can text on it, I can call people on it, I can watch YouTube on it, I can watch TikTok on it.
Okay. Do you have preference for one device over another, Nick?
Well, it depends on what I want to do. Like, if I want to play games, I'd probably go on my PlayStation. If I just want to watch videos, I'll either go on my computer or on my phone.
Okay. And which one of these devices is most important to you? If you had to pick one, James, which one would you pick?
Probably the phone.
And why is that one most important?
Well, it gives you communication and it has games.
Okay. And how do you communicate through the phone the most?
Texting, Snapchat.
Okay. Logan, what about you? If you had to pick one device, which one would it be?
Probably the phone too.
Okay, so that communication device, and do you use that? Do you talk to people on the phone, or do you text or otherwise communicate?
Well, I do a little bit of both. It depends. Like if I'm texting someone, like I would call someone if I'm wondering a question or need an answer instantly. But I would text someone if it doesn't really matter.
I sometimes call people because homework and stuff. When I forget it, I call and be like, can you send me this? And I'll print it out. There's this whole group chat of all of us. So if someone doesn't respond, then someone else will.
Okay, we're going to come back to those devices, but first I want to talk a little bit more about your family and how they view technology. So in your family, do your parents use technology a lot, and what do they tell you about how much time you spend using your devices?
My mom and dad use technology by working, calling people, and texting. They also do emails and do reports on stuff.
My parents are on Facebook a lot, and yeah, they both are on calls for work. Like, my dad has people all over the U.S. that he works with, so he's on a lot of calls.
My mom and dad work from home. They both use a laptop and a monitor to work, and they use their phones and the TV.
Okay. James, what about you?
Yeah, same as Logan. My mom and dad work from home or from the office, and they use their laptops, their phone, their computers to just get work done.
My dad has a computer in his house that he uses for work.
Does he use it ever for personal activities or just work?
Not that I know of. I think it's just primarily working.
Okay. Nick, what about your parents?
My parents both have computers in their houses and phones. And stuff.
Okay. What kind of direction do your parents give you all about how you're using technology?
That we shouldn't use it so much, but like that we should use it for like communication or something like that.
They told me like don't be on it so much, you'll get glued to it. They made us watch this show on like why these people who work for stuff work for it and don't let their kids use it.
They feel pretty positive, but they also like my dad doesn't want us to be on it all the time, but they use it a lot, so they have positive opinions on it.
Okay. And now, what do your parents tell you about your use of technology? Do they put limits on how often you're allowed to use your phone or your gaming console?
No.
Sometimes.
No, they don't.
You have no limits on how often your phone can get used? Do you have your phone at nighttime?
No, I don't, but sometimes I do.
My dad is the only one that really limits it, but it's not really limiting. Like he just is like, don't be on it all the time and stuff like that.
I have a time limit on my phone for like 2 hours.
Okay.
I can ask for like 15 or 30 minutes more.
Okay.
And also, my mom and dad restrict me from playing like more than 2.5 hours on the video games a day.
Do you put any constraints on yourself with using your phone, or is that something your parents do?
I try to limit myself. I have a timer actually set on my phone.
About how much time do you think you spend on your phone?
I'd say around like 5 hours.
Probably like 4 to 5 hours.
I don't know the exact time because like it ranges from like what activities I have that day, but I definitely spend more time on my iPad.
And so, do you think that there's any impact on your health if you use your devices too much?
Being on it a lot, yeah, because you're just like addicted. Sorry, and it's not really good for your brain and mental health.
I think yes, if it's way too much.
Let's talk specifically about gaming devices. What's the impact if you're gaming too often?
I think playing high intensity online games, I guess specifically multiplayer online games, can affect your health mentally.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about what you just said. What did you say? Multiplayer what?
Online multiplayer gaming for heavy, high intensity games.
Okay, so what's an example of that kind of game?
Call of Duty.
Okay, Call of Duty. So, how often do you play that? And when you say multiplayer, what does that mean? How does it work?
It's multiple people in your country, most likely, or in the same like time zone, I guess.
It's like playing against yourself or AI as a single player, and like multiplayer is multiple people playing that game with you in the same place at the same time.
So, do you join in a certain group to play with other people, or how do you even find people to play with?
Okay. You you have like there's a server for like your region wherever you are, and you queue into different games in your region with other people in your region.
Well, that makes sense. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you all are doing on your game console. So I assume you're gaming. Can you describe some of the types of games that you like to play on the game console? Logan, we'll go with you first.
The games. I like to play 2K22 is a basketball game. I like to play Madden. I like to play Fortnite, and like those are pretty much my main games I play.
James, what about you?
Like same thing with him, except I don't really play NBA 2K. I play MLB The Show 22, and I'm looking to get another game, but I don't know, maybe.
Nick, do you have other games you play?
I play Fortnite. I play Tony Hawk Pro Skater by myself, and those are mostly the games that I play.
Okay, so what's the goal of Fortnite?
To win the game
By doing what?
by killing people and being the last one standing.
Okay, so does the game have how long do the games usually take? Let's say a Fortnite game, how long does that usually last?
10 to 15 minutes, I would say.
And how many people could you be playing together with online?
4. Well, in like a battle royale, it's 4 people, but like there's different game modes, and you can play with 16 people.
What about playing games with other people? Do you think gaming is a social activity for you?
Yeah, especially when there's like proximity chat where like people can talk to you even though you're not like friends or anything. Like if you kill someone, they can talk to you after you kill them, which can sometimes be very bad. But it's fun. So
So what are you talking to them? Do you have a headset or something?
yeah, there's a headset connected to your controller or your computer, and you can talk through that.
Okay, great. What about you, Logan?
I use a headset to talk to people, and like, yeah, it can be a social activity, like, but it depends what you're playing. Like, if you're actually playing with people and they can hear you, like Fortnite, you can do like a whole squad and play from like 16 people if you're playing creative. Usually use your mics to talk with them. But if you're just playing like a non-multiplayer game, there's not really a lot of talking, and it's not really social.
So when new games come out, how do you find out about them?
YouTubers, they usually get the game on like an early access because they're famous. They get like a demo recording, and so they do it, and then that gives us like a month before it like truly releases, and then we can like see it, but it's usually way overpriced, so we don't really get them.
Okay. Logan, do you go out and buy the games immediately when they come out or released, or do you wait?
If I was gonna buy a game immediately, I would probably buy a pre-owned one so it's less expensive. But I usually give it like a couple months so the price drops.
Okay, so I don't really game that much, so I don't know how this works. When you go out to buy a game, do you actually get a disc or you buy it online?
It depends, like so there's a PS5 model where like you can only buy games online and it doesn't have a disc thingy. But like if you're playing on Nintendo, it's just a small little chip. You would buy it like that. If you're playing on PS4, most likely a disc. You would buy a disc for it. But yeah, the most popular is disc. So 2K24 is coming out, and I like on 2K22, it's like advertising 2K23 and 2K24 for you to buy them.
Okay, so they advertise their next version of the game, I guess.
Yeah, but it's practically the same. There's not really any updates with Electronic Arts, EA Sports.
Okay, what about advertising? Does advertising ever show up when you're gaming?
Advertising for the game for like in-game purchases or like skins, characters, pickaxes, like gun wraps.
Okay, these are all the things that you could buy when you're inside of the game.
Yes,
Buy that with real money?
yes.
Okay. James, do you do in-app purchases?
Sometimes, but they're usually like EA games, like Electronic Arts. They like just do the same thing every year, and they just get money off of in-game purchases.
Dylan, do you end up buying anything in the games?
I try not to.
I buy in-store credits to get things on the game.
Can you give me an example of the kind of things you might be able to purchase when you're gaming?
Cosmetic items,
Like what?
outfits, skins, things like that.
Okay, so as skin, that's like what I don't understand what that means because I don't play the game. So can you explain what a skin is that you might buy in a game?
So skin is just a character, just randomly, just created by developers of the game, and they put it in the in-game store.
Okay. And so then that skin makes you look different, and so that's the appeal behind it. Does it have a different application when you're playing or something?
It's all purely cosmetic.
Okay. Are there any games that you used to play when you were a little bit younger that you don't like playing anymore?
Probably like arcade games, maybe like Galactica, Pac-Man. Let me think.
Some of the classics. What about you, Logan? Are there games you used to play that you don't play anymore?
Yeah, probably Minecraft and like Rocket League, and like old games on my phone, like Subway Surfers or like those old games when I was like 5.
Okay, let's talk a little bit more about the phone and the social media accounts. So, do you all use social media?
I have Instagram, and I just like my mom edits photos and like, but she controls it.
Well, I mostly watch TikTok, but I use Snapchat because like most of my friends use it actually. So I send them stuff like what I'm doing.
I use Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, things like that.
Wow, that's a lot. Dylan, what about you?
I use the same applications as Nick.
All right. Well, for social media, I don't have Facebook or Instagram. I just have Snapchat and TikTok. So that's my only social media. Because like I don't get a reason for going on Instagram or Facebook. Doesn't really
Okay.
appeal to me. Because what's the point of it? So I don't really.
What's so appealing about TikTok?
It's just short videos that you can just scroll through, and they're funny or not funny. It just depends. Like on the For You page, it picks stuff out for you, and there's also a following page where stuff that you follow and you want to see. So
Okay, Logan, what about you? You use social media?
yes, I use Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, but yeah, that's basically what I use.
Do you have one that you like more than the other?
Probably TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
So how long could you sit on your phone and look at TikTok?
Probably a couple hours, to be honest.
Really?
Yes.
Is that good? It keeps the TikTok format keeps you on there, always wanting to see the next thing.
Well, yeah, it gets pretty much addicting after like scrolling through a couple of videos, and like it
Yeah.
starts finding like what you're interested by liking the video, and it shows you like accounts or channels like that you would like, and then like maybe you like a video and you click on someone's account, then you just scroll through that and then you leave that and find another account. It's like a repetitive.
So it's kind of like a little bit of a rabbit hole, right? You like one thing and then all these other things show up. I know one time I liked these panda videos because they were so cute, and then I had pandas everywhere in my Instagram feed. So it's very, very interesting how that works. James, do you see advertising when you're on Instagram or did you say TikTok?
On TikTok, well, it's like sometimes, but you can just scroll through it. You don't really need to see it. You can watch it if you want, but I don't.
So if you were a parent, what would you tell your kids if you had kids your age? What would you tell your kids if you were a parent about
Um,
social media use and your devices and technology?
Be careful. Don't fall for scams, and just look out for who you're talking to.
Not to like overshare and not to put yourself out there in a way that isn't meant to be shared to the world.
It's not very private at all.
Don't do something dumb. Like don't bully people on social media for what they do or what they post.
I would probably make them have like private accounts, like for safety reasons, and probably not to post a lot, and like be careful for what you post and like what you comment on other people's videos and stuff.
Okay, good. Is that something they teach you in school also? Does that come up in school these days?
Yes. No, not really.
Not really?
Nope.
In school, I was taught a little bit about your online footprint on things like social media and gaming, just being online in general. Um, Respect other people, respect yourself and your privacy.
Okay. Now, do your parents talk to you about online safety at all?
Um, yeah, but I don't really interact with anyone online except my friends on the PS5, like playing video games and texting and calling.
I use like secure stuff that I have permission from my parents. They limit like I not really limit, but they try to keep us safe and not share a lot of personal information.
Yeah, don't give your full name. Don't give like your personal information, like your phone number, your email, address, stuff like that. I think it's very important because like you don't want anyone to find you. Like, that's weird. Don't.
And just to not be out there too much. Like even if you are ready, it still isn't as good as like being out into the world, like and traveling.
Yeah, all good points. Well, how do you think that these companies end up making money? Let's think about Facebook and Instagram for a minute. So, how do you think they end up making money? Do you get charged a fee for using those?
No.
So, where do you think the money comes from? They're like billion-dollar companies.
Advertisements.
They make money from like the amount of followers someone gets or like anybody, and people can also make money off of those accounts from like a different status, but they make money from brands sponsoring people and different stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Like they get these famous people like um just famous people and all to like do reviews for it. And when they do reviews, they like people buy more stuff and it just goes in a cycle.
I think that it may work for them, but I feel like it also uses the people that are supporting other people through the apps.
You would see like if you're on your phone, you could be in the app store looking for a new game, and then you see like an ad for Facebook or something like that or TikTok, and that would just like some cool thing on that would just want you to get it.
Are there any ads that stand out to you that you can think about that just come to mind that may have been targeting you specifically? Anything you can think of?
Yeah, I guess like men's deodorant or men's body wash.
Okay. So they probably recognized that you're a young man growing up, and then they're pushing those kinds of ads to you to show that brand off.
Yeah.
Dylan, do you get that same kind of advertising on the soaps and shampoos and stuff like that?
Yes, I do.
So how do you think that works? How do they do that?
Because people can see what you look up. So then when they see it, they people see that people have searched that up and bought things recently from it. So then it's going to be like adding more and more ads. And they'll be like, oh, ads are working. And they'll add more and more.
It grabs like the consumer's attention and like advertises to them in a way that'll make them want to buy it.
I'm not sure how it all works, but I think what it really comes down to is you search up things on an app or site, whatever, and those things that are searched up build your like personalized advertisements.
Yeah, I think that's probably about right. So targeted advertising is a term that we talk about a lot at Parks Associates and in our research. I want to talk a little bit about the television and streaming services, live TV. So tell me a little bit about how y'all watch TV. Do you watch old school TV, traditional television like cable with the guide, or do you watch more streaming television like YouTube or Netflix?
Well, like I watch cable, like I watch Hallmark on cable with my mom. But I also watch like Disney Plus and Netflix and stuff.
I use like Netflix, Disney Plus, and all that.
A little bit of both because I have streaming television at my mom's and I have cable at my dad's.
Okay, James, what about you? What kind of TV do you watch?
I sometimes watch cable, but most of the time I watch streaming platforms like Max, Netflix, YouTube. Sometimes I go on cable to see like sports or like cartoons maybe. But yeah, most of the time I'm on something like YouTube, Max, or Netflix.
I mean, I like Netflix and others because it's like you can find the thing that you want like now, but like when I'm outside, I'll watch the Cartoon Channel because like there's always a cartoon on.
I would have to say I primarily watch YouTube and Hulu.
YouTube and Hulu. And are those paid subscriptions that your folks must be paying for? Or are they free?
Well, my parents are paying for a Hulu subscription.
Okay. And so are there certain shows that you like to watch? Or what are you actually watching on television?
Sometimes just like fun series on like Netflix or Hulu or just watching sports that are live like basketball, football, soccer, baseball.
I watched Cobra Kai. There's 5 seasons on that. Diaries. There's 3 seasons on that. Never Have I Ever. There's I think 4 seasons on that. So, and then Family Reunion. There's like 7 seasons on that. I just watch stuff over and over.
I like happy shows. So like there's a show on Disney Plus called Doogie Kamealoha. And the episodes are like longer than usual, like TV. But yeah.
And do you have a hard time figuring out what to watch or where to watch it on? Like if you want to watch a sports game, a match, do you find it easy to figure out where you're supposed to go watch that, or you just search for it on the TV?
Yeah, I find it pretty easy.
Okay. And would you say that you've ever binge watched a show?
Yes.
Yes, very much.
I only really binge watch when I'm with my friends at a sleepover. Like one time we watched a whole like 2.5 season show. We watched them all, but everybody was asleep by like the second half of the 3rd season.
I binge watch Cobra Kai, or like Stranger Things, or like when a new season comes out. It's very addicting and binge watch it a lot.
And so you like to sit down and watch it all at once?
Yes.
So what does binge watching mean to you guys?
For me, it's like not like watching a season until it's over, and that could take a long time. So
If I like find a series that I like, I'd probably binge watch every episode without watching some other series.
And do you ever see advertisements popping up?
Yes. On TV, the Pepto Bismol ad has the catchy jingle.
I mostly see advertisements on cable because, like, on streaming you bought it, so you don't really have to see ads. But on cable, I see like car insurance ads, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there. It's my favorite one.
And so there's a lot of the longer form series, sort of the traditional television, 30 minutes or an hour. But what about like these very short form clips? What is that something that you spend a lot of time watching, like the YouTube Shorts or the Instagram Stories?
Yes, I watch TikTok a lot. Sometimes there's like videos on Snapchat, YouTube. That's basically all.
Yes, I do have TikTok.
yes. Mhm.
And do you do that on the television, or where do you watch that kind of content?
On my phone. Yeah, on my phone, but there's YouTube on the television, and you can't watch YouTube Shorts on the television. So,
And is that for free?
yeah.
And so how does that work? Are you using a smart TV?
Uh, I think it. Yeah.
Yeah, you are using a smart TV. That helps connect you to that YouTube platform to view it rather than the cable television. So what are some of the things that you watch on TikTok?
Self improvement, like videos, I guess.
Cool. Nick, what are some of the things that you watch on TikTok?
I watch. I mean, I don't know. It's just it's like a bunch of content, just random content that I just watch.
So why is it so appealing to flip through that content? What makes it so great?
Oh, it's short little videos. There's like a ton of them that you can watch, hours and hours of them, and I don't know. Yeah.
Do you end up reading the comments throughout? If there's any comments on the videos?
Yeah, I do sometimes read the comments, but usually I don't.
What about advertising in videos? Do you all see ads when you're watching the short form content on YouTube or TikTok?
Yes, mainly YouTube.
I think like on TikTok when you open it, there's like the first thing is an ad. Like it's usually for me it's usually like Amazon or like mostly Amazon because it's Amazon.
So,
Um,
what is that advertising experience like? Do you feel like the ads are meant for you?
So I don't have TikTok, but on YouTube, like in the shorts, like they have a bunch of advertisements for games, and then they're also like before all the videos. So like, yeah.
well, on TikTok, you can just scroll through them. It doesn't really matter. But on YouTube, it lasts like 30 seconds, but sometimes you can skip it. Most of the time, you can skip it. But there's like sponsorships for YouTubers that they like do it. It's not really an ad, but you can still skip it. But it's not really targeted to me because, well, unless it's like a video game ad, but it's like usually like Uber Eats, State Farm like insurance. I don't really like. Doesn't feel like it's targeted towards me.
Gotcha.
Well, like sometimes like what the creator like posted or like what the video or short film is about. Sometimes the ad is like similar to that. So like sometimes yes, the ad is kind of like what I like, but usually just skip them.
Okay, so usually you just skip through the ad.
Yes.
Do you think that advertising is effective in the sense of capturing your attention for a moment?
Yeah, I would say.
I think it's a pretty good strategy considering I bought something off of Amazon that I initially got the idea of from TikTok. So
And if you were going to go buy these products, do you usually buy things online or do you go shopping at the store?
both, it's way easier to find stuff online, but like when you go searching for it in a store, like my grandma took me to Whole Foods and we found like they don't have an app, so I don't think that. But she took me to Whole Foods. We found bagels, strawberry cream cheese, and macaroons. You can't if they have an app. I looked it up actually. Pretty sure that they do have an app. But if they have an app, you can't get the macaroons on that app because it like doesn't show it in the sweets section. So yeah.
I usually like to buy products online.
And why do you like buying products online so much?
Most of the time, you can't really find them in a store like a Walmart or Target. At least for the stuff that I usually get for um, self care, like skincare products, for example.
Okay. Nick, what about you? Online shopping or retail?
It depends on what it is, but if it's like soap or something that's available at their retail store, I would probably buy it in person because it wouldn't take as long, and you wouldn't have to pay for like delivery fees.
Okay. Good point there. Let's switch gears and talk a little bit about electric vehicles. Are you familiar with the term EV or electric vehicle?
Yeah, I am.
Nick, what does the EV mean to you?
It means a car not run on gas or run on electricity.
I think they're actually they're pretty cool, but like yeah, they're pretty cool. I think they like put AI in it to where like if you type in where you want to go and you don't want to do anything and you just want to play a game or something, you can be like, "Oh, yay, let's go." I think it's pretty dangerous, but like I heard like Elon Musk, like if you fall asleep on the wheel, there are lights in the car thing, turn on and it'll like wake you up.
Okay. Have you ever ridden in a Tesla?
So me, my grandma, my mom, and my brother, we went to the shop. My grandma left, and mom, we went to the Tesla part of the mall, and there are like Teslas inside it. I don't know how they get the cars in there though. How do they get the cars in there? It was like I said, it was in a mall. We got inside of it, got to see all the features, but it never really drove.
It's actually really smooth, but there's also hybrid cars, so they run on both, and that's actually very efficient. It's better than EV and gas cars.
Okay, you like the hybrid versions? It's a mix of gas and EV. Okay. Logan, have you ever ridden in a Tesla?
No, I haven't.
Okay. But you've seen one, right?
Yes.
What do you think about electric vehicles, James?
Well, EVs, I know that it costs a bunch to produce the batteries, and actually, like, it uses more energy than gasoline, and it pollutes the air way more than gasoline. So right now, we don't really need them.
Yeah, strong view on EVs. Logan, would you ever own an EV when you're older?
Probably not because of what James just said. Like until they can actually like produce it the right way and make it the right way. But like also because like it's way more expensive in my opinion. Like you can just tell prices are way higher for that. But like it's also the fact that like electricity would run out way quicker like in the car.
I'm not sure the pros and the cons of having an electric vehicle. I'm not sure if it's better than a vehicle running on gasoline.
What do you think might make it not as or make it not as good as gasoline, or it might even be worse?
Well, electric vehicles are definitely expensive, but probably potentially worth it in the long run.
Okay. Lots of adoption. Our research shows that 7% of households in the United States have an electric vehicle. That's about 8 million households out of 119 million. So there's still a long way to go with electric vehicles. Okay, we're going to end our segment with just a few more questions. I want to ask you some real quick questions about technology and see if you can tell us what you think. So let's talk about artificial intelligence. How would you describe artificial intelligence to a 2-year-old?
It helps you do stuff you don't want to do, or it's like a fake person. It's like a person, but it's a fake person.
It's AI like robots.
Robots.
Robots? Okay. Probably a 2-year-old can understand that well. Dylan, what do you think about artificial intelligence? What does that term mean to you?
I think it's mocking human life,
Using what though?
machinery, programs.
Okay. So using technology to mimic human behavior?
Yes, yes.
Logan, what do you think artificial intelligence means? What is artificial intelligence?
An AI bot, like just like Siri. Siri.
Okay, like Siri. Siri is AI. Okay. James, do you have any examples you want to share of what AI means?
Alexa. There's also like in game bots that they put in there just to fill in like the matches and the lobbies.
I think it's like supposed to help you like get to know stuff, or like help you do stuff you don't want to do, like Chat GPT. Why didn't an essay be like if you search, like if you type in something like how do I write an apology for everyone, it'll like automatically do it in like 3 seconds, or like how do I say this in less than paragraphs. So
Do you think that that's going to play a big role in jobs later?
Jobs that use technology and stuff like that are advertising, and they're just going to take over like the the technology world, kind of. I don't know.
well, it's already replaced this one, but you know when you pick up the phone like call the doctors and an AI, artificial intelligence picks up, it's very annoying.
Do you think that AI is used now in everyday life?
Not exactly.
Okay, so still some ways to go for that technology to develop.
Yes, very much. If someone does one little thing to the programming, it could like take down the whole world, to be honest. Like it will multiply itself because it, like if you add a little bit more intelligence and like screw up like the attitude part of the programming, then like it will just remake itself over and over. And like you can't run from robots because they're robots. So
Do you have any comments on how technology will end up changing the world? Logan, any ideas?
Well, it's obviously made life like a little bit more easier and like yeah, I don't really have a lot to say on that. I mean,
Okay.
I don't really know.
Well, making life easier, that certainly is true, right? James,
Yes.
what do you think?
Well, it does make life easier, and it could do a lot of jobs that just like manual labor. It could just replace like the industry, and they can just do your work for you. Like
Yeah, it's true. Technology can certainly help get things done, right? Instead of manual labor. It's very true. Do you think that you're going to use technology in your job when you grow up, James?
Yes, definitely.
Logan, do you think you'll use technology in your job when you grow up?
Yes, most likely because it's like technology keeps on getting more popular and the usage everywhere.
Yes, I want to become a vet when I grow up, so I bet I will use it a lot, like for like X-rays and stuff like that.
I really want to be a teacher, and like that, as technology develops, it'll kind of take over the classroom more and more.
If you could invent something to make your life easier using technology, what would it be?
Like something like if you're blind or like disabled, you could like make your own food. So like something that you can just talk to from like the like doorway of your room. You can like talk to it, and it can just make whatever you want.
I have no idea. A self hairbrusher. Hair is very tingly.
Okay.
Like a hairbrush that like has blow drying and like styles your hair without even you having to like mess with it.
Like maybe, like instead of having a maid, like a robot that can do like everything and clean the house. I guess I don't know. That would be cool and easier.
What is an app you would create that would change and bold problem?
I would create like a kindness app that like you can just send a message, and everyone who has that app
Receives it?
like has gets that message, and like maybe if someone's feeling down and you send it, it might cheer them up.
I would make one that spreads happiness and kindness and like happy quotes to anybody like who has it, just to brighten people's day.
What advice would you give a parent who has children about the use of technology in their house?
Just to always be safe on it and don't share too much information.
Honestly, don't get Teslas. They're cool, but their battery only lasts 7 years, and you can't reuse those batteries. And the whole point is to have it be like safe for the environment. It is the exact opposite. After 7 years, that battery can't be recharged, and it just throws into a bin, and it creates toxic waste.
I'd probably say don't be on it too long and go outside and exercise. And then once you do that, you could go on it for like maybe an hour or two, and then take a break, play outside for another hour or something, and then get back on.
Great advice. Dylan, you have any advice for the parents out there?
Yeah, I agree with what Nick said. You want to balance screen time with outside activities or maybe going to the gym.
And so could we end this conversation? Tell me, how important to you is technology for your daily life? Logan, how important is technology for you?
Pretty important. I mean, I use it on a daily basis, using my phone, my PS4, playing with friends, contacting people, and yeah.
Okay. James, any final comments on how valuable technology is to you?
I mean, you use it to get around. You just use it to communicate. You use it to do everything, like going to the bathroom. Even it's just everywhere, and it helps a bunch.
I so appreciate you joining us and sharing your views and use of technology. Thank you so much for joining the Connected Consumer Podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, thank you.